I started with the very first meeting of the folk festival, which was held in the top pub over a few beers in, I can't even remember when it was now, but back in the late 90s. We came at it for different angles. There were four of us initially. I knew Kirsten through school. We were both on the parents group at school. So we were both into fundraising and doing all that sort of thing from a school perspective. Diane and Jeff I'd never met before, but I came to know them very, very well over the period of time. And I guess I went for different reasons. I wasn't really a music type person as such. I liked music, but I hadn't done the folk festivals. Like Jeff and Diane and Kirsten were very much went to folk festivals, knew their music, knew their performers. I was a bit of a folk festival virgin myself, but I was more interested in it as a means of getting outside money into the town. As I was a mum of 5 in my 30s then, and I had kids at the preschool, at the primary school, at the high school. They played tennis, they played netball, they were in the clubs, the scouts. Well, all these people were trying to raise money for their own organisations. And Yakandanda is a very small town, so we were all taking money from the same people, the parents usually, and the businesses. We're all having to dig into our pockets for different fundraisers continuously. And I guess I was interested in this whole concept of starting something that was going to bring outside money into the town so that we could fleece them, basically, to support all our groups and schools and all that. So I went from it from that perspective, and we had our first meeting and decided that we could do this, pull off this folk festival, and so we did. I suppose 15, 16 years later it's still going. Anyway, we started, 4 of us. There was another chap that represented the Indigo Shire, David Shermer. So he came in as well and provided the sort of council support, I guess, the rules, the regulations, what we can do, what we can't do. The others may correct me, but the figure of $2,000 sticks in my mind as our starting budget to provide performers. And from that we planned our first folk festival. The others sort of tended to look more after the music side of things, and I got very much into the community side of it, getting the community involved. So we sent little letters out to all the community groups saying, hey, this is what we're doing. If you want to be involved, let us know. And we sort of looked at it from a food point of view, that they could provide food for this weekend. Stalls always selling food make a lot of money. From there, my main drive was community involvement, I guess. So those first few, I think we had animals. We had farmers bring in animals for petting zoos. We got the local churches involved, and on the Sunday morning of the festival we had a community service in the park, so we got the churches involved. The groups, the community groups like the CFA, the SES, they got involved raising funds. The schools got involved, and we ran markets, and it just became bigger than Ben-Hur, really. I guess I was the anal one, because I always had my lists and I was always taking notes as the secretary, as you do, always letting people know what they had to do, what they had to organise, what they had to get by the next one. There was a mammoth amount of work in it, and each year we just got bigger and bigger and bigger. I've got no idea what the music budget is this year, but it would be huge, I think, considering from where we started and the quality of the people that we now have. But having said that, the original performers were pretty cool in that we were just starting out, and they were very supportive of helping us get going. I was only there for the first 5 before I moved away, and I was in the secretary's role for each one of those 5 years, and it was a gradual progression. But I can't speak for the last 10 years, but those first 5, it was actually quite astonishing how quickly it grew. And the sorts of performers, even in the first 5 years, the sorts of names we were drawing from overseas within such a short period of time were quite amazing. We were just so enthusiastic, I think, and it was something that we really wanted to do. And I don't think anyone could knock us for wanting to bring outside money into the town. Everyone could see it as an opportunity. Whether they thought it would work or not, they kept them thoughts to themselves. But overall, the feedback was pretty good. I seem to remember, thinking, I wish more people would get involved. But it came. As it wasn't going to be a one-hit wonder, and it kept growing, and it was so well organised, and it just became a real annual event. More and more people got on board, and everything just got bigger and bigger and bigger. The market was very much in the initial stage as a means of drawing people in as well, that if they weren't musically orientated, they'd come into the markets. We had a very much make it, bake it, grow it. We wanted it to be a very small town country market that was very natural. That in itself was quite an eye-opener. I did the markets in those early years, and the people that would ring up wanting to bring their tracksuits made in China, and you say, well, no, it's a make it, bake it, grow it. Oh, but I make all my tracksuits. No, you don't. Sunglasses. You need my sunglasses. People come for markets just to see my sunglasses. No, we don't want your sunglasses. Whether they have those things now, I don't know. But originally it was supposed to be a make it, bake it, grow it market, and that's just gotten bigger too. Yeah, we always did in those initial days, had a lot of support from the pubs. I think most of the businesses were pretty keen. Some people had complained that people can't get to their shops because the markets cut the street off. But I think you get that with any event. There's always going to be complainers and whingers, but in the long run, the benefits to the town have just been massive. The school was one of the main things for me because I had so many children at the school, and fundraising is just this ongoing issue. And because we wanted to use the school grounds for food or for markets, for the children's activities, we really used the school grounds a lot. So we really wanted the school involved, and they were, and from what I understand, they've just become more and more involved over the years, and it's really become a big money spinner for them.